Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Game Time Gents podcast. It is me, Nardy, here with Fisher Zoltowski. Boys, say hello.
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 It is episode 64, and we're going to dive into the latest injury news, the latest news around the league. We're also going to talk about our fantasy heroes and zeros from last week, week 12. And then we're also going to get into our starts of the week for week 13. And then, boys, we have a full slate of games to pick this week. There's no bye weeks because of Thanksgiving. So, but let's start here.
Day.
Yep, good old Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving out there to everybody. But to get into some injury news, I know the big one on everybody's mind. Baker Mayfield did leave the game Sunday with a left AC joint shoulder sprain. As of right now, he's not ruled out for Sunday. Just on a personal note, I hope if he feels he can't go, he sits out, because we all remember what happened in Cleveland. He tried to play through whatever injury he had, and I believe it was a non-throwing arm injury as well. And he kind of just sucked the rest of his career there. So I'm hoping that doesn't come back to bite him again. Hopefully if he can't go, then they bring back Kyle Trask or something like that, because Teddy Bridgewater he did not look good out there at all. But another piece of news for the Buccaneers coming up, Bucky Irving. They said that he is targeted to come back this week when they play Arizona. I'm not totally sure what's happening with him. Have you guys heard any of this going on with Bucky lately?
No, I haven't heard.
So he had the shoulder and the lower leg injury, and apparently he's been going through what people on Twitter are speculating is like a mental health thing, a mental health crisis. So hopefully he's getting his mind right so he can get back on the field and, doing what he enjoys doing. But the first time I heard of it was actually from Mike Florio. I was listening to Pro Football Focus the other day, and he basically told his co-host Chris Sims, he's like, I've heard some strange things about Bucky's situation, and he was being pretty ominous about the whole thing. So he said that he was going to tell his co-host off air, so he didn't even bring it up on air. So I'm not sure how terrible that situation is or what's going on there, but I know football's better when Bucky's on the field. Now, Sean Tucker's held down pretty well, but we all want to see Bucky back out there. And then Zoltowski, one of your guys got injured.
Yeah, it's unfortunate news here in Detroit and for fantasy managers, because he has been pretty consistent as a tight end. Sam Laporta is most likely out for this season after having a back procedure done. I know last year he dealt with injury on and off. He missed last week against the Eagles, and that was the start of it. So must have found something pretty wrong with it. Maybe that's why. I know last year when he was in there, he normally had some boom games rather than, just the average production. That could have been why his production was more on the average side this year. He's dealing with that kind of all year, playing through it. So if Brock Wright is still available in your leagues, look at picking him up, just because the Lions love to run double tight ends and throw to their tight ends as checkdowns a lot. So even with Laporte on the field, when they ran the 2-10, Brock Wright got a lot of looks there too. So
yeah, and every time I was disappointed that it wasn't 87 out there catching the ball.
Yeah, I know, me too, because I had to put him on my IR and I'm upset about it.
But as we said earlier, we do get extra day of football this week. So not only do we have 3 games on Thursday, there is the weird Friday 3 p.m. game this week, the Black Friday game.
Friday football.
Yeah, we'll get into who plays on that day, but it's great, man. 5 days of football. I can't be sad about it at all. And we got rivalry week this week too.
Yeah, it's a rivalry week, baby. It's the best week of college football. Go Blue. It's the game on Saturday. Actually, a lot of big implications here. So if Michigan wins, they can make the Big Ten championship. If Indiana or Oregon loses, either one of those happens, they win. They're in the championship, which then they could sneak into the playoffs there, which would be just awesome to see them make it. I think there's even a chance if both Indiana and Oregon lose, it's a rematch between Ohio State and Michigan in the Big Ten championship. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how all the tiebreakers work out, but
I mean, I'll take 2 Ohio State Michigan games in here.
Yeah, maybe 3 if they both make the playoffs.
No, I think it'll be a much better game than the talking heads are speculating. Michigan's had Ohio State's number the last couple of years. You're a Michigan fan. I'm a Ohio State fan. You guys keep holding that over our heads. So we're gonna
Michigan
bring
lives
a boom this week.
Michigan lives rent free in Ryan Day's head.
Yeah.
It's the defense. It's going to be a defensive battle, I think, just like last year. 2 freshman quarterbacks. Julian Sand has looked good, but if you look at Ohio State's schedule, I mean, they played Texas at the beginning of the year, and then Grambling State, and then they played Ohio.
Yeah.
They played Purdue, Rutgers. They didn't really have a hard schedule. And some of those games, like I remember watching the Ohio State game, and Ohio hung in there for 3 quarters, which the last time a MAC school did that, hung in with Ohio State, was the first year Ohio State lost to Michigan, as it was Toledo at the Big House, because I went to that game.
Interesting. Yeah.
So,
well, hopefully,
I'm always hoping for that.
Hopefully the Buckeyes break the curse this year. But in terms of winning football games, boys, the Browns won a football game. Shedeur Sanders came in. He looked decent. He's the first Browns quarterback to win his debut game since 1999. The last guy to do that was a guy named Eric Zier, an overtime win against Cincinnati in 1995. So pretty cool to see. I was pretty happy about that. So the Browns won, the Lions won, and Fish, you haven't spoken up much this episode. Do you want to?
It's just, the defense looked good, up by 21 in Dallas. It's always a shootout when we play against them, regardless of where we're at. I mean, this is what we've been talking about all year. Dallas's offense is really, really good with those receivers. CD, of course, I mean, you go back to, a couple questionable calls. It is what it is, right, on both sides. But George Pickens, this is the George Pickens that everyone thought that the Steelers had drafted. This is what we saw in college. This is the perfect opportunity for him outside of going to the Chiefs, where he doesn't need to be that number one guy. I mean, we saw it when CD went out. CD was overshadowed by Quinshon. It was great. He locked them up for good most of the game. But unfortunately, you have 2 other guys that try to lock up another technical number one at 6'3" and 210. It's just not happening. And Dak's, we know, midseason Dak is good until he hits the playoffs, and then he, lays down. But it's what I kind of figured. They stopped the run game majority of the game, and then obviously when they were passing a little bit more, that opened up a little bit. The offense just doesn't look good. It's almost scripted. And we saw this last year, and we saw it the year before too. And so unfortunately, we have new OCs go in and out as a rotating door. But there's been so much talk of the receivers not getting the ball. Our bread and butter was the run option with Hurts and Saquon. We were very good with that. And then when we needed a pass, then the safeties would push back. Then we go back to the run, right? Now it's so much of a focus of, okay, let's throw the ball 35 times a game and then try and run it when we're too far down. The runs, the designs, it hasn't been great. The offensive line has struggled with injuries as well. I don't know. There's a plethora of things. I mean, you could blame Hurts, you could blame AJ, you could blame Saquon, blame the line, whatever it may be. It all stems on who's calling the plays.
Yeah.
The OC is the head runner for doing that. I don't know. It's not good. There's been speculation that, he's Sirianni's best friend, just like Brian Johnson. How he may step in and fire him midseason, pick up a newfound OC or head coach that recently got released from the Giants. Dabo would be good. He coached with he was a head coach with Hurts back in the old days as well, so he kind of understands that system. We're just looking for someone that has any type of competency to call a football game. I mean, a 12-year-old playing Madden can call a better game. So it's just not a good look. Unfortunately, they play a red-hot team this week. Not too hopeful on that. So, I don't know. Defense looks great, but offense is definitely not where we're at from last year. It's almost night and day. So, it's tough to watch, but it's expected.
Yeah, Jalen still looks pretty good. I mean, he put up pretty good fantasy numbers, at least with those 2 rushing touchdowns. But, yeah, is Sirianni's background, is it mainly offense, or was he a defensive coach before?
No, offense. He was mostly offense. I mean, he was a quarterback, too. When he played. So I don't know. Again, it's always, Sirianni is there to have the team members' backs and, do this, do that. He's that cheerleader type coach, and we need that, right? We need somebody to fire up, call those gutsy plays. But at the end of the day, Kellen Moore was very, very good because he's very analytical with what he knew and what he saw. That's what kind of steered the reins of, okay, Hurts, go ahead and go this way, pull it back, give it to Saquon, run to the left kind of thing. That's what we saw a lot of, and it was tough for defense to scheme across, right? It's the reason why they won the Super Bowl. So I don't know. There's a lot of issues. Losing to Dallas is a big one that I think is eye-opening. It's just like, when we lost to the Giants as well, it's like, something needs to change, right? If there's 2 games out of the year, we can go 2-58. There's 2 games out of the year that we need to win, regardless of at home or away. It's against Dallas. So it sucks that we split. It sucks that we split 1-1. I mean, Dallas looked like they won their Super Bowl, which kudos to them. But it's a game that doesn't need to be lost, especially when everyone plays. So,
yeah. I was shocked that they came back. So,
yeah, I was sitting in the chair and was like, seen this before. We get too comfortable, we start playing. I mean, you're still throwing the deep ball. Hurts didn't really look good last couple of weeks throwing the deep ball like he usually does, but not much time in the pocket, whatever it may be. But it's not good. I mean, the offense just sputtered, and Dallas got hot. This is the most dangerous thing about Dallas going in. If they have if they make the wild card, it's going to be a problem because kind of like the Bengals, right? Their defense is not the greatest. They hit flash in the pans, but that offense with their, Javonte Williams having a rebirth there, George Pickens having a rebirth, Ferguson looking great. It's going to be very, very tough to stop that offense.
Yeah, George Pickens made there was one catch where he's just over 2 guys. I mean, and it was an amazing catch. I can't even, can't deny it. I remember we were at Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, the game was on. I think Alex asked you, are the Cowboys just that bad or the Eagles just that good? Because it was 21-0. And I remember thinking, oh, yeah, that's what it should be. Game's over.
Yeah.
And then we're driving home, and the text comes through, and Liz goes, oh, I want to see what they said. And so I touched the screen, and he said some choice words because we're trying to cut back on the swearing. I won't say here, but they're expletives. And I go, oh, my God, what happened? I go, did the Eagles lose? Check the score, and sure as heck they did.
Sure
and I was like, oh, my God, what happened there? That's that's unfortunate. I mean, you talk about the Lions winning in overtime against the Giants. So, I mean, that game was, I was on the verge of a crash out on the way to Friendsgiving when that was going on.
It's Jameis, man. He's good for 1 a year.
I just can't help to think, right? It's always been, for the Eagles, it's always been a struggle, right? We always had that number 1 corner, but we never had like a solid number 2. We think we can get a couple free agents or a trade for a late pick to get some no-name guy in there. And can't help to think that if Zaire Alexander didn't quit mid-season, not saying he would have locked him down, but he's got enough knowledge and understanding. I mean, he was the number 1 corner in Green Bay. So having that blanket help could have changed. I mean, Fangio was trying different things. He's trying to line DeJean out there, but there's just not enough speed and physicality there to stop a George Pickens or a CeeDee Lamb, right? So it's that's one thing that Howie has struggled the last few years. He thinks he could just get a couple guys, much like Kansas City with their wide receivers, right? You just get a bunch of guys and hopefully someone would fit or you add depth. But there's a solid number 1. He's still, young, but the number 2, and we see most of the damage being done at the number 2 wide receiver spot. So it sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll take on the Bears, and
I think you'll bounce back.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're hot right now.
Obviously, the offense is sputtering, but I think you guys, most of all, need help in the safety position. Like, it sucks Makuba went down. I don't know how long he's out. Did he break was it his arm, his leg? I just glanced at it when it came across.
His leg. I haven't seen any reports on it, but I know he grabbed it instantly. Look, Reed is great, sick. Reed's a great player, right? I like him. He brings the physicality when he can, but there's, again, it's just not enough speed And Sidney Brown is just not turning out to be the guy that, I mean, we drafted him late in late hopes, but
Yeah.
we needed a Makuba who was quick, who could also lay the boom. And you get part of that with Reed, but the speed being burned over top, it reminds me of like Avante Maddox and half the other corners that we had out there. A double move and that guy's torched.
Yeah.
And if he gets behind Reed, then it's over. It doesn't, there's no one catching anybody. So
Just clone Zach Bond. Let him play everything.
God, if only.
Honestly, N'Kobe Dean too. That guy's quick for a
That dude's
linebacker.
an animal.
Your front seven's amazing. It's the back end that needs help right now. But I only had another piece of news. The Keon Coleman situation, not to switch gears too quick, but it's bad. He's missed multiple team meetings. Apparently, it's come out. I thought it was just one. But he was benched the last 2 weeks, healthy scratch. His stats on the year are not good either. He is 32 catches for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I don't know if I think he's pissing away his career, honestly. Being late. I mean, he's got the intangibles, but what's up?
Something to note, especially with the Keon Coleman, and you're right? I mean, is these young guys, I mean, like you guys have it made, right? Play 3-4 years, get a fat contract, and then if you want to piss away your career, that's fine. But you'll make 80 million out of it. Cool. Awesome. He's got the stature where he should be the number one and just dominate, right? He's got the George Pickens. He's a big physical guy with speed, good route running. Something to note on the Bills' end. Did you see who they picked up today?
Brandon Cooks. I did see that.
So I know it seems like a lot of coaches and owners are doing the more disciplinary act because Dallas had George Pickens and CD sit for one series last week. So we're starting to see a little bit more of that, which is great, kind of holding the players accountable. But this is a situation where we might not hear Keon Coleman's name next year. He didn't really produce last year. A lot of drop balls, wasn't the guy going to it. And then this year we're like, oh, maybe he has a resurgence. It's not, like you said, it's not a good look. They already brought in a veteran receiver. They got Shakir and who's the other guy they have there?
Not much else. They have Gabe Davis. Yeah. They have Tyrell Shavers. They have he played at Ohio State. Curtis Samuel. They have him. He's injured, I believe, but I mean, Gabe Davis is even playing again, and he looks like a cyborg out there now. I think he hurt his knee last year, and he has not come back very well.
Well, he was always a deep threat in Jacksonville, but that Shavers kid, I mean, if he's out there still, right, fantasy-wise, if he's out there because he's still young, he's not owned in many leagues just because
take a flyer.
There's no need to. I mean, at this point, especially dynasty-wise, I mean, look at that and stash him because it doesn't seem like Keon Coleman is going to last much longer in Buffalo.
The one that surprises me most is, there was so much hype about Joshua Palmer going there, and
that's who the other one
was.
Nothing,
man. Like, he's a young guy. He's been in the league for 4 years. He was at the Chargers his first few years in the league, and I mean, I'm looking at his stats right now. He's not had more than 2 catches since week 1. He's a non-factor.
I haven't really seen him play the field much. I mean, it's mostly been Shakir, and I think they've been trying to force feed Keon Coleman, and then Allen just kind of does Allen things. It also doesn't help that. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't. That Jared Cook is
James Cook.
I was talking about his brother. I'll switch gears. Go with the other running back. James Cook has just been lighting up the field as well. So they've been using him a lot more, which is good. We kind of saw implications with that last year, that we had a lot of titles of he's irritated someone, he's being benched, he's not getting the ball, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, no, I'm here to play. I'm ready. So it's good that they've been force feeding them. It's just Bills, ever since they drafted Allen, they haven't really utilized any of their receivers consistently. It's always been a sporadic Shakir or Coleman would pop off, or Diggs for a couple games went off, and then would go 0 for 4 for 6 weeks. So it's
he was so back and forth when he was there, man.
That's the thing. I mean, with the Bills receiving core, I mean, you can't you can't marry one of them. It's you're not going to get consistent numbers like you are with a Rasheed Rice or a George Pickens or a CD, where it's just not a good situation. I If they lose him, if they drop him, I mean they can't trade him now, so that implication they may hold him next year and then trade him then. But it's just you got guys pissing away their spot, and it's crazy to me. Crazy to me.
I think Brandon Ayuk's also doing something similar, if I'm not mistaken.
They voided his.
He's on IR, yeah.
Yeah, but he's been like, he wanted to get traded or get paid, and then they paid him, and now he still doesn't want to be with the team. I know he's on IR, but there's a contract dispute going on there. So,
well, they voided most of his guaranteed, if not all.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't looked too much into it, but just talking about this Keon Coleman situation kind of brought that back into my mind.
Wonder if it was like contract detrimental or not contract
injury.
No, it's I forget what the term is, but his attitude is not good enough for them to keep him. It's something written in his contract where if his demeanor is bringing the team down, then they can say, "No, you're out."
I mean, we saw that last year too when he was sitting out trying to get paid for the 1 year that he had, and he wanted max money. They paid him. Unfortunately, that he got hurt, but
yeah,
I mean,
it seems like he's really been requesting a trade for a few years. That you bring it up.
So,
yeah, I mean they got CMC. It's fine.
True.
So
I mean,
I got a couple pieces here, and then we can move on to our zeros. Just a few record watches here. So JSN, we've all seen what he's been doing this year. He is on pace for 2,029 receiving yards this season, which would break Megatron's record at 1,964 and would make him the first player ever to record 2,000 receiving yards in a season. I don't know what their schedule looks like off the top of my head, but with Sam Darnold force feeding him the ball the way he has been, I think we might see it happen, and that'd be pretty damn cool if you ask me.
It was great with Sam Darnold. We saw with Jay Jett is he really focuses on one player, the best player on the field, and then just force feeds them. And that's exactly what every team needs to do.
Yeah.
You have a number one receiver for a reason. Utilize him. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then going back to my team, Jahmyr Gibbs is now tied second all-time in TDs before turning 24 with Randy Moss at 44. He's only behind Barry Sanders, who has 47. He doesn't turn 24 until March.
Oh my god!
So, yeah, hey, he's gonna break that. Might
Next
make it 50.
Week.
Yeah, I don't. Which brings me to the next thing on this is he became the second player ever to rush for at least 200 yards and have at least 10 receptions in a game. First player to do it was LT back in 2002. So, I mean, Dan Campbell, if you're listening, John Morton, yeah, give Gibbs the ball every play. Throw it to him.
He's unreal.
Hand it off to him. He's so damn fast, man.
So
He's so fast. And then, another thing. I think I sent this to you guys. I don't know if you watched it. I saw this on TikTok. The former Titans GM came out and said that he wanted to trade back up into the first round in 2023 to grab Gibbs to pair with Derrick Henry. So the running back duo we never got, thankfully, because that would have been horrifying.
Yeah, that's ultimate thunder and lightning.
Yeah,
and even Derrick could be lightning sometimes. So
yeah. I mean, and Gibbs has some thunder in him too.
Dude, I can't imagine
Monty, but
I can't imagine what Campbell and Ben Johnson would have done with Derrick Henry up there.
Oh,
I mean, we
God.
saw what they did with Montgomery. He's not half the running back Derrick Henry is. So
yeah, he's been having an off year this year. I think the big problem there is when he comes on the field, teams know what's coming, so they just load the box against him.
Yeah,
or they just they have a spy on him at all times, which sucks for fantasy because I have him. He's had a couple games. The Ravens game, he popped off, had a couple tutties and a couple big runs, but not the year he had last year.
Yeah.
But people are talking about releasing him next year and just focusing on Gibbs. No, like Monty's serviceable, so Gibbs can get the break if he needs it.
Depends on what he's getting paid. Like teams don't want to play running backs at all, so
yeah,
or pay them at all. Right. So,
but that's all the news I got.
we can get on to our zeros. So I only have one. I didn't write it down because I wanted you guys to hear me say it first. Jerry Judy's he's awful. He's point shading.
Oh God.
He needs to be investigated. That was the dumbest fumble I've ever seen in my entire life. We still won the game, thankfully, but God, he's not worth the money he's getting paid right now. But that's the only one I had.
Yeah, that fumble was atrocious.
Yeah.
My jaw hit the floor when I saw that. That was bad. That was really bad.
Yeah. Fish, you got a list here as
always. Honestly, someone would say it's my favorite segment just because it's just bad, right? So a rather decent sized list. You'll hear a couple common names on here that we talked about in the weeks past, and then some new ones. And unfortunately, we'll see a common trend with the newer ones. So starting off, we're going to go ahead with J-Mo. J-Mo, obviously the Lions receiver, who has done very, very well the last 4 weeks, has also put up another goose egg. Again, too much firepower on that offense. It also doesn't help when Gibbs has 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. There's no reason script-wise to continue to throw the ball to your speedster. So Jordan Addison, this is going to go in tandem with Justin Jefferson. I have him on here. He's the new guy on our list. This is going to be an unfortunate common trend. I think Jefferson, when he was with Sam Darnold, was averaging 90, 95 yards a game. With JJ right now, he's averaging 50. This is a great opportunity. I know trade season's over. Next year in the offseason might be worth snagging Justin cheap or Jordan Addison cheap just because owners or managers drafted them very, very high, have high implications. He is very, very much underperformed. Unfortunately, you'll probably see both of their names going forward. We won't even talk about it. Just continue to look at their stats when they put up 8 points for a guy that's supposed to be number one receiver in the league. It's kind of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the problem is? JJ. JJ's the problem. He's not the guy.
I hate to say it. I loved him in college, but
not the guy.
9 touchdowns, 3 or 10 picks right now, I think, is his stat line.
Yeah.
It's not good. And this is technically his first year. He had injury, yada, yada, yada. Maybe he turns it around. I don't know, man. J-Jet, excuse me, has vented his frustrations, and obviously every camera points to him whenever a 3 and out happens, and he's not happy. So maybe he stays, maybe he goes elsewhere. I don't know what to talk about that in the offseason. But to continue on to the list, Alvin Kamara, I'd rather just go get your pina coladas, give Devin Neal the shot. Kamara got hurt this recent game, but his stats just haven't produced. I know I drafted him in a PPR league thinking he'll get 50 yards on the ground, but at least another 15 points through the air. I mean, throw a Hooper out there. You could probably throw it a little bit better, but even with the new change of quarterbacks, that team is just bad. Dallas Goedert.
Sorry, Nova.
We started out hot with Dallas Goedert. Game script wise, now everyone else is complaining. Now we're not feeding him the ball. A lot of that goes through Goddard over the middle. The Eagles offense, we don't know what we're doing. Tune in next week when we only run it 100 times and throw it 4 times. So, I don't understand. Romeo Dobbs. Again, it's a situation where there's too many receivers there. Not enough wealth to spread the ball. They got to establish the run game, which they did. Emmanuel Wilson did incredible on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Green Bay is going to find a way to win, and we'll talk about this later on, but the run game is their bread and butter. And with Josh Jacobs possibly coming back, that's exactly what they're going to go ahead and utilize. And then whoever's down there is going to catch it. They're going to catch it. Doesn't matter if it's a tight end or any known receiver. They're going to get the possession, and then Josh Jacobs is going to finish it off. Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is probably going to see his last year as a Falcon. Again, another high draft pick. Fantastic stature, ability to run, catch. He could block a little bit, but he's been known for that offensive threat. And with the Falcons there, he's just not utilized. So maybe he goes elsewhere. Maybe Kansas City picks him up. Maybe another team that needs a, tight end because the other guy's finally, hopefully, leaving forever because he just married a billionaire. So, whatever.
Gotcha.
This one kind of pains me to say. Lamar Jackson is a very, very new addition to this list. We know he started off early in the season, first 3 games, had 30 fantasy points on average. Got hurt, came back, and has not been the same. Not utilizing his legs in the run. The Ravens are overall as a team starting to turn around, but it's just kind of disappointing. I know for a lot of the managers that had him, that drafted him, thinking that they're going to get not only an accurate passer, but also utilizing the legs. And then with Derrick Henry in the back, that offense, the age is really starting to show, especially for the running backs. So kind of something to kind of keep your eye on. Josh Allen, a new addition as well, going from 50 something points to 8, a tough pill to swallow. Man, it sucks to be him, but he'll come back full force this coming week.
Dude, that Houston defense, though.
Poor guy was running for his life the whole game.
Yeah, that their defense, their offense is not existent. Their defense it's like the Browns we talked about earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Texans, Nico Collins, he had a resurgence last year, did work very, very well as the number 1 there. Again, this all stems not on his capabilities of playing, but more of the quarterback. Stroud is just having kind of a mixed year. It is what it is. Well, don't think he'll be on this list much longer. JT is another one that we just added as well. Just a down week. I mean, they stopped the run. They knew exactly what the Colts were going to do, and their main focus was to stop JT from gaining any type of momentum. That's exactly what they did. JT was held mostly relatively in check, but I don't anticipate his name being on the list this coming week either. So
I think people are starting to figure out the Colts a little bit. That or Daniel Jones is starting to turn back into a pumpkin.
I mean, either or.
He hasn't looked great the past few weeks.
No, but there's also been a lot more blitzes against the Colts to try and get in his face, so he doesn't have 7 years to throw it. Alec Pierce hasn't really been that much of a deep threat as of right now. Pittman's done well as a more of a receiving
possession
guy, yeah. But obviously most of the offense stems from JT, and if that can get rolling, then they're fine. But there's a lot more blitzes last few weeks. Daniel Jones has kind of had like Vietnam flashbacks to when he was with the Giants, and just he hikes the ball, and then all of a sudden there's 5 guys in his face. So I don't know, but we know playoff wise, whoever the hottest team is going to the thing is the most threatening. So hopefully the Colts can turn it around, but I don't know. It'd be interesting. But Zoltowski, you got a few people here.
Yeah, just 3. Good old classic here. DeAndre Swift, back to the same old up and down crap that we're used to seeing. 1.4 points this week. Just, I mean, that's not a good Pittsburgh team.
It's a good
that
run
whole
D.
offense just, what?
It's a good run D.
They have a good defense.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been catching the ball more out of the backfield too, though. Still,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what happened there. It's just frustrating. I'm thinking, oh, they're playing Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh's been on their seasonal slump that they normally go on after they start hot. You know, should be easy game. You know, Bears still won by 3 against Mason Rudolph. Don't forget Mason Rudolph. And then 2 more guys from the Pats here. Kayshon Boutte, or Booty, as it's actually pronounced, and Stephon Diggs. It was the tight end show. I don't know what was going on with Drake, man. I mean, it's the Bengals. You guys should have put up like 80 points each. Come on. You won the game, but...
To the benefit, though, not they call it. I mean, he's give the guy the flowers, right? Yeah, the Bengals are notorious for being bad against tight ends, and I feel every week that we talk about the Bengals, because there's always some type of crap show that's over there, right? The tight end that they just played popped off for 1,000 points.
Yeah, Hunter Henry did well.
I think he had like 10 receptions.
Yeah.
And like 2 touchdowns.
I think the other one had also 10 receptions.
Yeah, so a safe fantasy start of the week is whoever's playing tight end against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Except if it's Mercedes Lewis or something like that. That dude's like 75 years old.
Before we get into the heroes real quick, obviously everyone's hero is Jahmyr Gibbs for the 55-point performance that he put up.
Yeah.
I don't have him on any leagues, and I didn't want to be called a homer this week, so that's why I didn't pick him.
I almost picked Jameis. I was so close to picking Jameis, but I decided not to.
You should have.
But
He's so fun to watch.
He is fun to watch.
Hey, does that linebacker still have a job?
I don't, that's
I
Or
don't know.
is he still running gassers right now?
Who was it? Because I was
I
driving
don't
when it
know.
happened.
I don't know if his jersey tells us down though.
Number 55.
God. Let me look it up because I'm going to be upset.
He got shook and stiff-armed in the same move. I've never seen it before. It's only something Jameis Winston can do.
Oh, it's Derek Barnes, too. Oh, I like him.
Not anymore, you don't.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's from Covington, too. He's close.
From around here.
Yeah, he's from around you guys.
It's not good.
That's not good.
But let's get into some positivity. I'll go first this week just because I'm excited to talk about this guy a little bit. So, oh God, leaked. Sorry. My fantasy hero this week is going to be the one and only Cameron Ward of the Tennessee Titans. He was projected 13.85 points this week. He ended with 25.94. That's not setting any barns on fire. I understand that, but Cam Ward it was his first actual serviceable game as a quarterback in the NFL in terms of stats. He threw the ball for 42 times, completed 28 of those for 256 yards, had one touchdown through the air, ran for 37 yards on 6 rushes, and had a touchdown. So his performance this week reminded me a lot of what we saw last year out of Caleb Williams. He seemed to get the ball down the field pretty well. He does not have any real weapons right now. Like, he's throwing to a guy he played college football with. I forget his name, but
Chimere DK.
No, not that guy. It's a different guy.
He's throwing the ball to that guy too, though.
Yeah, he is throwing the ball to that guy. The other guy I'm talking about is
starts with an A, right?
I don't even see him on the list here. Maybe it's Mason Kinsey. Maybe it's not. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, he looked really good this week. In terms of Tennessee, what they've been putting out. He is the most sacked quarterback in the league right now, and I don't think that's any fault of his own. Maybe he holds the ball a little bit too long. He's a rookie, so that could be part of it. But I hope that the Tennessee Titans do something similar to what the Bears did, bring in some help for him, some receiving options next year, some guys that are going to block up front, and I think he'll bounce back and be a pretty good player in his sophomore season. But he's smart with the football. I mean, he's
number one,
some picks, but I mean,
number one overall pick.
Yeah,
at least talked about one ever. I think
he's got 6 picks on the year, only 7 touchdowns. That's the biggest difference between him and Caleb last year. Caleb had a lot of touchdowns, but I don't know, hopefully Cam figures it out. It was nice to see an actual competitive game out of the Tennessee Titans last week. So
yeah. So his teammate, the report is that they're going to sign Xavier Restrepo.
Oh, okay.
Is the
they
guy
haven't signed him, or is he on practice?
No.
He must be on practice squad.
It says reports indicate that they're going to, who's an undrafted free agent, will make his debut against the Seahawks.
Oh, so he did play, because they just played the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird he's not on Sleeper. At least he's not on their depth chart. Anyways, said Xavier. I'm gonna look him up, see what he did.
That's fine. Well, you do that.
2 for 6 for 26 yards.
Yeah, Chimere DK had a good game.
Yes,
it's gonna cost for a number 1 overall pick to franchise your team for the next 10, 15 years. I think you're gonna see a lot more teams take a little bit more caution when they draft those players, especially franchise players like this. The Bears did it right. They got Caleb. He had an ego, whatever it may be. He had flashes in the pans, did great. The overall struggled. Not necessarily a him thing. I'm sure he's still transitioning from college to pros. It's a different ball game, yada, yada, yada. The Bears did something right where they're like, okay, you're our guy. We're going to go ahead and get you everything you need. There's going to be 0 reason why you won't succeed unless it's a you thing. The Titans have to do this, or we're going to see another Sam Darnold. Not to say that Zach Wilson was the same boat, but you're going to see all these great quarterbacks that were really good in college and all of a sudden go to these bad teams, and then they're bad for the next 5-7 years because they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get that. Oh God, who's the one guy? Scantling. We're gonna get you Scantling because he's gonna be your number one. No, you go out there, you spend money in free agency, you beef up your O line, you get a running back, you get this because the Tajay Spears hasn't really had the best of year. They got Tony Pollard there. Just dump him. He hasn't done anything. Reset. You got a young guy. Get new people in there. If you got to get old veteran linemen, okay, that's fine. Defense isn't half bad. We haven't really seen what the defense can really do because they're on the field 50 minutes a game. But this is going to be turned into another implication where Cam Ward is good. He's smart with the ball, but he doesn't have the stuff around him to make him great.
Yeah.
It's just we're gonna ruin another guy's career, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, it's Cam Ward's fault." No, it's not. It's everyone else around him that they can't seem to build. So next year they have to, or next 2 years, right? I mean, the Bears did it well, where they got like, "Yeah, we'll just get you, and the guy in the back. We'll get him too." They need to do that and either sell everything else, dump Pollard's contract, and just get guys that you can build around him. Next year's not going to be great. I'm not expecting a 15 game turnaround, but give the kids something so he can develop and gain that confidence, right? We see a lot of these young guys don't have the confidence after a bad year, and then it carries on with them. Anthony Richardson, and then it affects your accuracy, stuff like that. So give them a whole different ball game. Get them players that can play, not this random guy that's not even in a fantasy football app. Or God, don't get Scantling. Don't do it. It's a trap. Don't do it. So it's. I'm glad to see his name on there. I'm glad to see him produce. Something's got to happen next year where they go all in. They got to show him that hey, you're the guy. It's just they can't. I don't know. It's a bad franchise right now, too.
No, I completely agree with you. They need to build around him in the offseason and the draft. So they need to bring some. They've got the cap space to do it.
Isn't their old head coach that they fired doing really well with his other team now in the league?
Bill, or not Bill Callahan. What's his name? Something Callahan.
Didn't Vrabel used to coach the Titans?
Yeah, oh, you're talking about Vrabes. Yeah, Vrabes is doing pretty good. Yeah. I'd say he's doing pretty solid for himself. Well, they just fired another guy this year.
Did it get caught in your hair?
Got to keep up.
That's fine. On to the next one. Fish, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm going to go with Wan'dale Robinson, or I guess Wan'dale Robinson, as people like to say. We know that the Giants' offense has just been riddled with injuries. Jackson Dart sat out. Scatabo destroyed his leg and is streaming and doing WWE stuff. I don't think it's the smartest thing, but what is the head injuries that he's got already? Neighbors goes out. So we're looking for anyone in this offense to step up, right? And they've played fairly well with what it's an injury in a core position. They go, okay, next man up. Wan'dale's been the next man up. He's finally getting the chance to not be a number 2, but at least get his name out there saying, hey, I could fill in and take over if you guys need me, right? And it might not be with the Giants, it could be with anybody else, but he's shown that the last couple of years of that fill-in guy, and today this past week, he really filled in. Projected 9.4 fantasy points, especially with JMO back there. And we know that JMO loves to throw the rock and catch it for 33 yards and a touchdown.
Wild.
But that's something else. So, I mean, I thought the TV was on, slow. I thought, I was like, hey, could we fast forward this? Like, no, it's actual speed. It's like, oh, that's my bad. He's slow. I get it. Anyway, back to Wan'dale. 9.4, 1 points projected. Finished with 27.6, with only 83% snap share, 9 or 14 targets wise receiving, which is fantastic for 156 yards and a touchdown. I think the most exciting thing about this, right, this incredible stat lines, he did incredibly well. They did lose, but it's okay. The Giants overall looked like they were having fun again, right? J-Mo was back there. He's dancing with Jackson Dart. Cam was the whole team. You don't really see Neighbors. I don't know where Neighbors is, but it seems like they're getting that
Chemistry.
chemistry. Thanks, man. Jesus.
Hey, it's trying to help, buddy. It looked like you were thinking.
I'm always thinking, right? But they're getting that chemistry back together, and it looks like that the core four that they have with Neighbors, Dart, Scatterbo, and I'd like to throw in Robinson as well. It seems to be building for futures to years to come, really. So I'm excited to see. This is a guy that I know not a lot of people started him, especially with Jackson Dart being out. They're like, well, JMO, we're either going to get old JMO pre LASIK or post LASIK. And guess what? Both are still throwing 3 interceptions. So we just didn't know what the outcome would be with this game. Especially they played the Lions, who typically very good defense. Anticipated the Lions going up early. So if you did a late play, kudos to you. Probably get some garbage time, but there was 0 garbage time needed for this. Wan'dale did incredibly well. He's my hero for the week for his fantastic performance.
He's secretly having a great year. He's ranked 11th in PPR formats. I can't believe it.
Very well.
I can't believe it.
Like the Giants next year, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a team to watch with Jackson Dart, Scatterbo coming back. Yeah, unfortunate for you, but I mean, when they had their pieces, minus Neighbors, you saw how that team was moving and grooving. I mean, they were playing good football, and they were fun to watch then. And the highlights were fun to watch. I mean, I think I saw them run like 4 or 5 trick plays, and they just, they're like, yeah, we're eliminated from the playoffs. Let's just have fun and maybe get the first pick with it.
It's a very young team too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, people are blowing the Scatterbo thing out of proportion with the WWE.
Look, let the man have his fun. He can't walk right.
I think it's dumb. It's an asset that we're going to get hurt for something. Look, we all saw who's the taint tickler. We all saw him started dancing on camera and then hurt himself again. His Achilles. So just saying, anything could happen.
And hopefully he never plays another snap of football for you guys.
Scatterbo has taken way too many concrete walls to the face to be like, yeah, this is a good idea. So
telephone poles. It's telephone poles.
Yeah, no, it's concrete walls he's running through. So
all he did was touch the guy. The guy sold. He just sold it. He just fell backwards. He's fine.
Well, welcome to any professional sport nowadays.
Yeah, minus hockey.
All right, Zoltowski, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm going for mine. Going with Jacoby Myers this week. So, he started with the Raiders, and we all know what Geno Smith does. He throws the ball really well to the other team. He had a good start. Good first 2 weeks of the year, and then just struggled because of the Geno thing. Gets traded to the Jaguars, I think, at the deadline. BTJ's hurt. Travis Hunter's hurt. BTJ's also having a rough year just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing flashy this week. He's projected 11.47, ends up with 15, 4 receptions on 6 targets, 50 yards, and 1 TD. His first touchdown of the year. But he looks to be getting more comfortable in this offense. Again, Travis Hunter's out. Trevor Lawrence is kind of remembering how to play football again. I think he maybe found out how to hold his hair back out of his eyes. Should just cut it, man. Cut it. But I think he's going to be a piece to this offense going forward. Especially if, unfortunately, BTJ continues to struggle like he has been catching the ball this year. I think Jacoby's a solid start, at least in the flex position every week. But I'm happy with the performance because he would have been putting up just nothing for a long time, and gets out of Vegas and then comes in and has a decent game.
He's utilizing that superpower that Jacksonville's GM said he had to not drop footballs.
It's a great power to have if you're a wide receiver in the NFL.
I still think that was a shot at Brian Thomas Jr.
It might have been 100%. 100%. I don't know. I like it. Catch the ball. Hey, if I got a guy who only gets 50 receiving yards a game, but he catches the ball 10 times getting those yards, I'm not going to be mad. That's a lot of fantasy points.
Yeah.
especially if he gets 2 tutties in there.
All right, we can go on to our starts of the week. Who wants to start this one? You just want to do same order?
Doesn't matter. I mean, I'll take it.
I
think
take
mine's fun.
Mine was already leaked, so I'll just go first.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Well, I would even ask it.
Yeah, I know, right?
My start of the week this week is going to be a guy we just talked about a little bit, Khalil Shakir. So we talked about the Coleman situation. It seems like he's not going to suit up anytime soon. If he does this week, I'll be surprised. Pittsburgh is the third to the last team versus the pass this year. They've got some old men at corner. Jalen Ramsey's still pretty good, still riles up some folks, but man, he's old. Slay's old. The safeties are old. Everybody's old out there. He is, in terms of receivers, Shakir is the clear number one option right now. Following him are Gabe Davis, Tyrell Shavers, the newly added Brandon Cooks, and Joshua Palmer. None of those guys have really been that involved. I would be shocked if Brandon Cooks played this week. I mean, he might because he's a veteran guy, but he's probably got a lot of the offense to learn. Dalton Kincaid still has a chance to miss this week. Dawson Knox and Spencer Hawes have been out there playing tight end. It's not been the same in terms of receiving for the tight end position that Buffalo's used to. If you watch the Buffalo game on Thursday, they did a lot to get Shakir in situations where he could get the ball in space and be successful. And I think that they're going to do the same thing this week, especially they just had the situation where they went against that tough Houston D-line. You know, this week they got to play the Steelers. TJ Watt's out there. He's going to rush the passer. Cam Hayward's going to be in the backfield a lot too, I'm sure. So they're going to have to get him the ball on the edges and just get blockers out in front of him. And, you know, he had some success with that this past week. He caught a couple screen passes that went pretty far. So I think he's a pretty solid play this week. His projected points right now in PPR formats are 12.85. He's not really had a monster game this year. His highest scoring points have been 20.8, but last week he did have 10 targets, 8 receptions, and over 110 yards. If he got a touchdown on that, that's just gravy at that point. So I think he'll have a very solid floor for you to put him in your starting position this coming week.
It's good. I think it's warranted.
Yep.
I think it makes sense, especially after them losing this week. So
yeah, they got to win too. They're in must-win territory.
Also,
Yes, they are.
something we didn't shout out. TJ broke JJ's sack total.
Oh, did he?
Uh-huh.
Did he cry when he did it? I just assume because he cries about everything.
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
I hate that guy.
I like JJ so much more than TJ,
Same, dude.
even though he's from that college.
Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't go to Ohio State. I think his brother did.
Any shot you can take.
They both went to
Any shot.
Wisconsin.
Good.
This guy,
Good. Even
this guy
better.
knows football?
I don't know football.
What a casual.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn, Fish. Talk about your guy.
All right. I'm going to go with someone who was drafted very, very high. There you go. Ashton Genty.
No gimmies, huh?
I mean, and this is not a gimme. Based on his stats, this is not a gimme.
This is not a gimme at all.
This is
based
not
on
a
the
gimme.
Raiders team.
Dynasty-wise, everybody drafted him either 1-1 or 1-2. With what he did in college, going to a notoriously bad team, you're thinking he'll just be force-fed. The quarterback situation with Geno is not great. Each week, he is losing it more and more. There's videos of him running off the field after the loss this past weekend, flipping off fans. So that $70 million guaranteed is really looking. Al Davis is rolling in the grave. This being said, right, and the reason why I'm picking Ashton, his run game hasn't been the greatest. He's only had one game this year in week 4 where he's rushed over 100 yards. I think he had 134, I think, if not more. Ever since then, every other week, he has not come close to cracking 100 yards. The reason why I'm picking Ashton is for one name only who is no longer there. Chip MF and Kelly has been fired. It is crazy to me that this man still had a job in the NFL after what he did with the Eagles. With this being said, now that Chip Kelly's gone, we know that his stagnant offense and play calling was not the greatest. A similar name, but not the name that we think, Greg Olson, not the guy that we know. Greg Olson, the old coach for the Raiders. He was the OC back in 2013-14, and then was also the OC with them back in 2018 through 21, which they actually saw improvements in the offense. They went from, in 2018, ranked 28th overall in offense, and actually cut that down 10 spots by the end of his term in 2021, cutting it down to the offense of rank 18th. Which is great. So positive trend there. 18th overall isn't the greatest, middle of the pack, but going from 3 years prior at 28 down to 18 is pretty good. Keep in mind that in that interim there, he was coaching a rookie, Josh Allen, or excuse me, not Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs. Josh Allen's always in my mind. So I see similarities with Ashton Genty along with Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was a very, very well-known ground threat as well as the passing game we see right now with the Green Bay Packers. Ashton Genty should have a revival game with this one. I think with the mind that is being lost in Geno, the new interim Greg Olson kind of stepping in as the old new OC. I think we're going to see similar play calling that we did back then, which was very much ground focus, get the run game established, which we talk about week in, week out. Get your ground game, much like the Packers, get them started, open the field up, and then let Geno pass. You should have more success instead of them being down, them loading the box, stopping, and then on a third down, they know they're going to have to throw it. And Geno, with his mind right now, is just going to sling it somewhere and hopefully not in the opposing colors jersey. So, I don't know. It seems like this is the game for them to kind of reset and get him going. Now they are playing a very, very difficult Chargers team, which offensively have kind of struggled recently. But with Omarion coming back from his album, should be back this week, it might open things up for them as well. But I think that Ashton Jenkins can have a lot of success. Through the passing game for sure, but I think at least the run game should see a little bit more of a positive trend just based off of old plays and game scheming that way. And with Greg Olson understanding how to utilize his best players, he'll utilize them well there. So Ashton Genty would probably be my start for this week.
I like
It's
it.
a good start.
Yeah, I just said it was a layup because everyone that drafted him in Dynasty, myself included, is still forcing him into my lineup.
But again, it's one of those situations where same thing with like Tyreek, right? Tyreek is a household name. He's done incredibly well. But same thing like Jay Jettis, right? You can't not start Jay Jettis.
Yep.
But at this point, if he's going to average you 8 points, are you okay with not starting him? Because the moment you don't start him and he gets like 18 to 20, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I've been starting him for the last 12 weeks. And I said, so I think this is one thing where this is the week that fantasy managers like you are going to look at Ashton Genty and be like, man, I am sick and tired of starting this guy, but at any minute he could pop off. I think this is the week where you're like, okay, I'm glad I started him. I think he'll do decent this week.
Yeah.
He's projected like 15 or 16 points, but he's been like that since week one. And hasn't produced.
Because he's bell cow. His snap percentages are crazy.
He's the guy. Yeah, well, and Chip Kelly getting out of there is good for him. Any guy that can lose as a 23.5 point favorite at home shouldn't be a head coach in the NFL, just saying.
Oh, speaking of, did you hear the report Chip Kelly was on a flight back to Philly?
At this point, we'll take him as long as actually, you know what? They should have gladiator style and have him and Petula fight in a ring. Or actually, just do it downtown Philly, right in front of gyms, steaks, and just have them fight.
I have no idea what Kevin Petula looks like. I don't know his body composition, but I am taking Kevin Petula in that fight.
Oh yeah,
Chip
Ryan
Kelly's
Day
a small
62
round man.
That'll be so. Look, it'll be the same right hook for the next 35 minutes. So it'll be scripted. So that's Kevin Petula.
Oh,
guy's a clown.
God, Kevin Petula looks like an uglier Nick Sirianni, honestly. But my start of the week
cries less.
Sticking with the running backs, actually bringing an old one back. Isaiah Pacheco here. I know the last time he was start of the week, I think he got a whopping 6 points. So we're hoping to change that this time. He's coming off an MCL sprain. He has been cleared and will play according to Andy Reid, on Thanksgiving, I believe they play on.
Let me check.
Yeah, because they're playing Dallas. Dallas always plays on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right.
So the Chiefs, we talk about their run game and how they need to use it. They have been. Kareem Hunt had 30 carries last game. 30 carries. Now, granted, he didn't have a whole bunch of yards, but I mean, still feeding the guy the ball. He had a bunch of receptions on top of that. He's been doing very well back there. And now I think Pacheco's coming back. He's going to get the nod because he is the RB1 there. He's the guy that they're paying. Kareem Hunt was the guy that they just picked up after he left the Browns. I think he got in some domestic trouble a while back.
Before he went to the Browns.
I know. I was just making a joke that the Browns always sign people with problems. But I think the big thing here is he's been seeing how Hunt has been performing and knows that his job is at risk. And then this is his time to show, hey, I can still run the ball well. I can catch the ball as well too. So he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to bounce back strong. Dallas loves to be wishy-washy, as we saw last week. The Chiefs defense is going to be the real test there for Dallas. I think Chiefs offense is going to handle business. Patty Mahomes is kind of going to get his groove back after winning a close win against Indy. They're fighting for a playoff spot, which is weird to say. So I think I know I got him starting. He's only projected like 9.3 points. I think he'll easily get at least 15, if not more. I just feed him.
Kansas City's 0-5 right now for games within 7 points. Last year they were like 7-0.
They're 1-5 now in one score games. Yeah, because they won They won by 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, you are right. We talked about that last week, how they were 0-5 compared to last year, where they had won all of their one-score games. So
kind of crazy to me.
I don't hate this pick.
You're just upset that he burned you last time.
No. I don't love this pick, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Dallas's defensive line is very, very good. It is the bright spot of their defense. We all know their secondary is bad. They did pick up Logan Wilson as well, a pretty good run-stopping linebacker. So, I mean, I hope you're right. I hope that the Chiefs keep going with the running game. I just think it might be more of a Kareem Hunt show than you're hoping.
I think Kareem's probably going to get the goal line look still, because he did that even when Pacheco was not hurt.
Yeah.
He's always kind of been the goal line back there. But I feel like, again, this is going to be they might even say to him too, hey, we're gonna give you a chance to show us why we shouldn't keep going with Kareem instead of you. I mean, their roles might switch. Pacheco might become the short yardage back, and Kareem takes the bulk of it.
But I think this is Pacheco, man.
Not the opportunities.
Fell from grace.
Into the pick'ems, right?
We can get into our pick'ems. Sorry, I've been fighting a cough all day.
Pick'ems and then COD.
Pick'ems. Yeah, that gun is awful.
Which one?
The Warden.
I love that thing. So much fun with it.
Is the worst.
I was playing mouse and key the other day, and with the aim assist being the way it is, my aim was very similar, if not a little bit better. And I'm like, oh God, do I need to make the switch?
Tell you, there's no aim assist in that game. But anyways, Thanksgiving Showdown. We have a somewhat new graphic for you guys. We updated a little bit just because there's 16 full games this week. We do have 3 games on Thursday, 1 game on Friday. Then you got your Sunday slate and then your Monday night football game. So let's get into the first game on Thursday. Baby. Green Bay going into Detroit. Detroit, as always, playing on Thanksgiving. Detroit only 2.5 point favorites, surprisingly. I'm clearly going with Detroit here. I don't see how. Yeah,
give me Detroit though. Especially after the season opener, the loss to Green Bay. There's a bad taste there. It's Thanksgiving. The tradition, got to keep it alive. What's the moon phase? There's some weird stat that whenever the moon is in a certain phase on Thanksgiving, the Lions win. It's been like the past 6 or 7 wins they've had.
I've got no idea, brother.
Yeah, the moon phase is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes.
You're asking the wrong fella.
And I just think there's too much too much going on in that Green Bay offense with the 18 different receivers they have, and they know that they're going to try and feed Josh Jacobs the ball. I think the linebackers are going to step up, stop the run game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you guys are going to get revenge for week 1. So next at the 4:30 slot, we have the Cowboys versus the Indians. I'm sorry, the Chiefs. I think that it is not any shocker here that the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think they are in do or die situation, and they're going to be able to pull this one out in Jerry World. Chiefs are 3.5 road favorites, so I think that they'll pull it out in Arlington. Fish, you look like
is Rasheed Rice playing?
Rasheed Rice is playing.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs, unfortunately.
Give me Dallas.
Saw it coming.
I think they're gonna have a tough time stopping Pickens.
Yeah, they'll probably have a tough time with both receivers, but I don't know. I think they'll get it done. And then we got the stinker of Thursday night. We've got Cincinnati going into Baltimore. Oh, we forgot to mention this. Joe Burrow is expected to play.
So
Thursday
dumb.
Night.
So dumb.
I don't know if they get extra money for the TV deal or something, but yeah. Joe Burrow expected to play. Baltimore 7-point favorites. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
God, that's... He's going to get hurt again. Yep. I hope he doesn't. I'm not wishing that he gets hurt, but...
No,
it's just...
I get what you're saying, yeah. He probably will get injured again.
Yeah, less than 1% chance to make the playoffs. Like, don't.
Lloyd Christmas is their coach. Next, we have the Bears going into the Link Friday, 3 o'clock. Fish, I want to get your take first.
I give me the Eagles.
Eagles are 7-point favorites.
I think it's going to be closer than what you would think. But I think they'll game script and they'll go back to running it with Barkley, and the defense will still be good enough to kind of keep Caleb under check.
I'm with you. I think it's a get-right game for Philly.
Give me the Birds. On 1, I want Chicago to lose. 2, the Eagles' defense is just way too good for the Chicago offense. I mean, yes, they are playing well. Yes, they're hot. But, I mean, they're just so good. They're going to get to Caleb before he has time.
Yeah.
And that's when he struggles.
Yeah.
So, they're going to put up 50 points.
Okay, let's not. Yeah, you put up 50 points. That means Kevin Tula gets another week. So let's put up 14 and still win.
Fair enough. The defense is going to put up 50 points with interceptions and fumble recoveries for touchdowns.
Vic Fangio should be president if they do that.
It'll be a Quinyon Mitchell only making those plays.
I hope.
We got the 1 o'clock slate. First game, San Fran is going into Cleveland. 4.5-point favorites, San Francisco 49ers. I'll be at this game. A balmy 36 high degree day. It's going to be a cold buddy. One. I want to take Cleveland so bad, but I'm not going to do it. I think that we'll be able to hold CMC in check, at least somewhat. And then I don't know what other offensive weapons they're going to try to exploit. But I think George Kittle's going to have a decent game. We're not great against tight ends, so... Unfortunately, give me the Niners. I think the Shooter Magic runs out this week. But hopefully it's back again. You guys all 3 go on San Fran?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
both of you.
Put Myles Garrett 2 sacks.
Hopefully more.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets 30 this year. Just kidding. That's not going to happen. But next game we have Jacksonville going into Tennessee. Jacksonville 6.5-point favorites on the road. No question here. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah. Duval.
Yes. Jacksonville, please. I was trying to keep track of my own thing. I was like, where the hell do you see Jacksonville, Tennessee? Yeah, just go down a little further.
Yeah,
the order is different than on Sleeper.
It's not the same for some reason. Next, we have Houston going into Indianapolis. Indianapolis is 4.5-point favorites. Not sure if C.J. Stroud's going to be back this week. I haven't heard anything. I heard he's battling that concussion pretty hard. So, regardless, I think I'm going to go with Indianapolis here. But I think this is going to be a very close game.
I'll take the Colts as well. If Stroud plays, I'd probably go with Houston.
Give me the Texans.
Going against Indiana
we saw what
Jones.
but we saw what that defense did to Josh Allen. I mean, they bullied that man.
Yeah, they did.
Houston's defense, I think, is going to be a little bit too much for Daniel Jones. He's going to have flashbacks when he was at New York, unfortunately. And I think they'll keep JT in check. Could be wrong. I don't know.
Division game too, so
They're,
you know it's going to be a tough one.
I think Houston's playing well, so.
This game will be the worst game of the week.
Yep.
New Orleans going into Miami.
It's awful.
Miami 6-point favorites. I want to do it again. I want to take New Orleans again, but I'm not going to. Give me Miami.
Miami, please.
Yep, me and Miami.
New Orleans really let me down last week. Almost as much as Dallas Goedert did. Next, we have Atlanta going into New York to play the Jets. Atlanta's 2.5-point favorites on the road. Kurt Cuddy. I didn't really watch this game much. How did he do in his debut or his comeback?
Not great. I'll take the Falcons, though, because of Bijan.
Yep.
Might be the Bijan and Bruce show.
Everybody needs it.
I'll take the Falcons, too. That one's a toss-up for me, though. Jets are kind of hot right now. Next, we do have Atlanta. Nope, we just did that one. We have Arizona going into Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 3.5-point favorites. I don't know if Tampa's going to win this game, especially if Baker doesn't play.
I have the Cardinals.
I have the Cardinals as well.
You guys all have the Cardinals? I think I might lean with you guys there.
Give me the brisket.
Good.
The brisket is very good.
Yeah. Oh, and Michael Wilson.
This is
if he's somehow still available, the 9% at least pick him up in sleeper.
Showdown of former Cleveland quarterbacks here, boys. Baker and Brissett.
God.
You almost ruined both their careers.
Next we have the Rams going into Carolina. The Rams are 10.5-point favorites. Give me the Rams.
Yeah.
Not much need to talk about in this one. Although Carolina is surprisingly good at home this year.
Yeah, they're 6-6. They're fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah. I kind of made these too close together at the bottom, but that's okay. We'll learn for next time. Then we got the 4 o'clock slates. We got Minnesota going into Seattle. I think it's going to be a Sam Darnold revenge game.
Yep.
Give me Seattle.
Seattle, please.
I think you see Jay Jettas beg Sam Darnold to come back at the end of the game.
Yeah,
in the middle of the field.
They'll hug and cover their faces and talk about times that used to be. Next, we have Buffalo going into Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh's always a tough place to play, but Buffalo's pretty used to that weather. They're on the Rust Belt as well, so I think I go Buffalo here. Buffalo's 3.5-point favorites on the road. They're missing a lot of pieces, though. I'm still leaning Buffalo, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Anytime the Steelers lose is a good time. Next, we have Vegas going into LA to play the Chargers. Chargers are 9.5-point favorites. This is a division game. Take that for what you will. I'm going Chargers. Vegas is just too bad right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's
the Gents will have a game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Gino is not the guy.
Who's the backup in Vegas?
That's a great question.
Aiden O'Connell, Kenny Pickett.
Small hands Kenny Pickett?
Super Bowl 1 and 2 championship.
2-glove Kenny Pickett is the backup, or one of them.
Yep, he is the QB2. So
next, we have Denver going into Washington. There's been rumors that Jaden Daniels could come back as soon as this week. I don't think that'll happen. That's a crazy thing to do, but Give
Also
me
dumb.
give me Denver on the road on Sunday night, 6.5-point favorites.
Denver, please.
Yep, Denver.
Keep in mind, Washington, I think, plays the Eagles next week. And then another tough team, and then back to the Eagles. So let's not be dumb.
Now, they're again basically out of playoff contention. You're 3-8. Like, just don't risk getting your star hurt more. Let him just take it. Take the time off. Get completely healthy.
No, I completely agree. Yeah. With our last game here, we have New York going into New England. New England 7.5-point favorites. Is it going to be the Jameis show again? Is he going to show up again? Which version will show up if he plays?
Free LASIK.
The same one that showed up last week.
Free LASIK. Give me New England.
New England's also got a very sneaky good defense too, and team's just playing hot right now.
Yeah,
Drake May's on fire.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun game to watch. I think whether it's Jameis or even Jackson Dart back there, the Giants are going to go out and give it their all and have some fun with it. Try to build that chemistry a little bit more.
Yeah,
They are the first team, the Giants, to be mathematically eliminated from playoff contention.
Oof.
So, which is wild because the Texans are 1-10.
Titans, you mean?
Titans, yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, that's our picks this week. I think that we're going to get every single one of them right, even the ones we're split on. We're only split on 2 games this week, so
it's been like that the last few. People are starting to take less and less risks.
Yeah. But as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Always say GG. Thanks for being a Gent. We'll see you next time. Peace.
See you guys. Bye.